everyone, welcome back. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about periods, fertility, ovulation and all that jazz. So I made a video which was about the ovarian cancer that I had a lot of years ago, which resulted in me having my tumour removed, my ovary and fallopian tube. So now I'm only left with one ovary. If you haven't seen that video, it's in my playlists of my story times. Go check it out and then come back. Just a little recap of part of that video. When I had fallen pregnant, the pregnancy ended up failing. And when I had went for an emergency scan to check to see if the baby was okay, the tumour was shown on the scan. Nurse had then went and said I have to go get that checked at the GP. Cut a long story short, I did that, but I was grieving, so I didn't want to, jump straight into it. Moving on years forward, me and Mark, we've been together for 7 years and we have had one pregnancy which was also unsuccessful. I've been pregnant 3 times in my life and all of them have failed. The other 2 was with different relationships. Me and Mark crossed paths and the same thing happened with us. Mark already has a child, and when we've went to the GP, we've explained that I'm having issues and stuff. I've had surgery, blah, blah, blah. And I remember the hospital saying to us, after I had the surgery, there would be complications with trying to conceive after having the surgery. And they were bang on. They were totally right. It took me and Mark years just to have me fall pregnant. Still taking years now after all these years moving on. The GP wanted us to have an appointment at the Women's Health Clinic to see what they could do about my period. I've always been a heavy flow girl. I've had blood tests done to check on my ovary. I'm due to go and have a scan on the 4th of October to check how the only ovary that I have left is actually doing. But the blood test came back as that I have a normal amount of eggs that are in my ovary, so they're fine. Mark's had a sperm test done. His sperm is completely fine, there's no issues. So this is like how we know it's me that is having the issues and not Mark. His sperm is fine, but my reproductive system, because it's only got half and I've only got one working ovary and fallopian tube, this is the thing. Like, it's me that has all of the complications. We do know that we can conceive because it's happened before, but we are still trying. However, the hospital have said because Mark has a child, we don't fall under the category of having IVF because Mark already has a child. So what they've said is that as long as we're eating healthy, staying active and losing the weight, eating healthy meals, and we're not letting things consume we, and just let nature take its course, it will happen. And they've advised for what a baby dance every other day and not every day, which every day it would be a big no-no. Like, who can do that every day and not get exhausted? Know about the periods, the fertility, the tracking, the ovulation, blah, blah. Hospital have also tested me for a blood disease which causes clotting. They tested me for that because I mentioned that when I have a period I do have a lot of clots, and because I had just come off my period a couple of days before that an appointment that we had at the hospital, they said that the blood test markers were up a little bit, and that's because I had just not long come off a period. But they said I didn't have the blood disease and there's nothing to worry about, and I have a good amount of normal eggs in my ovary, nothing wrong with Mark's sperm, and it's all good news. Only bit that we're gutted about is the IVF, because that would have been amazing for us to record and go through that journey. However, these things do happen, and we're happy just letting things continue the way they are going. It come to a point where it was consuming us with having to check up on my cycles and tracking my fertility. I use an app called Premam, and I log in my periods and log in my ovulation tests and stuff, checking my temperature with the BBTs and stuff, and then I was taking vitamins. I don't take the vitamins anymore. I know a lot of people say that you need to be trying them. I have tried Conceive Plus vitamins. I've tried Wild Nutrition. I've tried lubes like Pre-Seed. We've tried Wellman for Mark. We've tried Pregnacare. Everything that we've tried and nothing's worked for us. All of these things I was buying and wanting to have in place, I wanted to have this happen as quickly as possible. And I'm paying for these apps and I'm subscribing thinking that it's going to get us somewhere. And it never has done. So I have wasted money, whereas I could have just let things happen as normal, that's what we're doing now. Obviously, I'm still subscribed to the app, but I'm also tracking, but I'm not going out my way to buy vitamins and stuff like that, and I'm not doing it as often anymore now. But I still have like a lot of tests, but they're now put away because I don't want it to take over my life. I don't want to be disappointed, and I don't want to get upset, because it can mess with your head and get you very emotional when a part of you thinks, I really want a family, but then the other part of you says, well, why are you rushing? Just let it happen when it happens. So I've learned to knock myself down a notch and make sure that I'm not letting it take over my life. And I've learned that I need to slow things down. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I've come to terms with all of that. And what me and Mark want to do is make sure that we have a healthy lifestyle and keep that going. When we fell pregnant the first time, I lost 1.5 stone and Mark cut out all the fatty foods, and we're just going about with normal day. And I was walking the dog multiple times in a day, because in all place we didn't have a backyard. You had to literally take the dog out on a walk, because that was, the way the flats were built. Walking everywhere and being on the move all the time, the weight started to drop off us. And then I was still smoking at the time, and I just conceived. And we had went to our first ever fertility appointment at the hospital, and I didn't even know I was pregnant when I had that appointment. It was only a week after that appointment I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, Mark, I've not been on my period. When was my last period? Did I tell you? He was like, I don't know. So obviously I remember on that morning as well, my boobs were killing. And I looked at him, I'm like, oh, you're pretty brown, aren't you? It's like, what's going on? I took a test and I come back positive, and you know something, I'll never ever forget the reaction, the picture on Mark's face. He was absolutely jumping for joy. It breaks my heart because I never forget how he went on, like when I come out the bathroom and I showed him the test. He was actually in the middle of making a sarnie, and I think he was making ham and salad sandwich, I can't remember, or a sausage sandwich. It was one of the two. And then I was like, Mark, look. And he dropped everything and he was just so happy. But it is heartbreaking knowing that our child didn't survive, and nobody knows why a miscarriage can happen. And a lot of people say, you know, it's the things that you choose to have in your lifestyle that make them unsuccessful, which is true. Like, if you're putting things into your body that aren't good for you, then of course it's not going to be a pretty picture at the end of it. There's a lot of opinions on that matter, but we're doing the best we can. We've now decided that we're just going to let things take its place, and we're going to let nature come by, and whatever happens, it will be what it will be. We're not going to let things consume our lives. We're going to just crack on with our normal day-to-day routines and just see how things go. I've had a few people that have said to me in the past, like, how do you feel that you're the only girl in your friendship group, and knowing that Mark has a daughter to someone else, does that not make you feel a type of way? Like, how do you feel about that? And my answer to them questions is always, it does not bother me one bit. I'm happy that my friends have got children, and my friends bring their children over, and those are the best days of my life. I love kids. I love the fact that I can spend time with my friends as kids, and I love the fact that Mark has a daughter as well. I treat his daughter as if she would be mine, and she gets anything she wants, and I always talk to her when she's on the phone to Mark, and we always see her when we want to, and none of these kids are a pick of bother. Like, they're such great kids. My friends as kids, Mark's daughter, it's all happy and joyful. I've had multiple miscarriages, and I would never ever feel a sinister vibe that I would give off to my friends. I could never hate them for having kids. I could never hate my own partner for having a child. It's just wrong. Like, I love kids, I always have done, and I know I would be a great parent if I ever have one myself with Mark. So no, I would never envy my friends or my partner because they have children and I don't. Mark's always said to me that even though our child isn't here with us, it still makes you a mother to our child. And I didn't realise that until he said that to us. Every time I cried over the loss of our baby, he would always say, don't ever think that just because our baby isn't here, that it won't make you a mum, because you'll always be our baby's mum, and I'll always be the father, even though our child isn't here. A couple of years after we'd lost the baby, I decided to get a tattoo to remember the moments, and here it is on my chest. I would show you the rest, but it's further down onto my boob, so I can't really show you that on here or anyway. But basically it's 2 baby feet, one pink and one blue, angel wings and a halo, always in my heart, baby G, and then the date of when I found out I was pregnant and the day that our baby had passed away. I always wanted to get this because not does it only relate to mine and Mark's child, it relates to everybody else's losses that they've had in the world, and also to my other 2 children that I did have years ago. But I absolutely love it. I really do. I was around about 6 to 10 weeks when I had lost the baby. We've got a pregnancy scan photo which is on the memory table. If you see my spend the day with me video, it's on there on the unit, the photo, and sometimes like I'll just go up to the unit and I'll just, you know, look, and I don't get emotional anymore. Now and again I will, but obviously I just take a moment to smile, because the first couple of weeks where I was carrying, I always appreciate them moments that I had, because I can't let it ruin my life. I have to try and go through life and just appreciate that I did have moments where things were going good, but I just appreciate those moments and the feelings that I had when I found out I was pregnant, and then the pregnancy scan. It was just a great feeling. Everything's all good in the hood with health and everything like that. Our time will come. If it's not now, maybe in the afterlife, who knows. But I think that's the end of this video now, because I feel I've sat here and I've thought everything through and I've gotten everything out that I've wanted to say. So yeah, if you would like to see more content like this regarding infertility and periods, you know, girly talk, then please let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video. Please give this video a like, comment and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.